Welcome once again. My name is William, and I've got a story to share with you. This is an excerpt from Psalms 10:26, and it's a bit of a story that's from the Kill 6 Billion Demons universe, written by screenname Abbadon. So I did not write this story, but I really do love that webcomic. Once again, this is called The Divine Name. YISUN walked with his disciple PREE ASHMA in the garden of bones and plums, which was one of YISUN's more favored places to walk, for it set the mind at unease. PREE ASHMA, who knew the syllables of royalty and the 7 intonations, and could smile in the 1st, 3rd, 50th, and 20th ways, was very proud in her accomplishments. Thinking herself wise, she posed a question to YISUN. "Are you a giving master, a one of ones?" YISUN, who was in the mood for games, plucked a plum and bit into it. "I am consumed with love for myself." PREE ASHMA knew the syllables of royalty, so she knew this to be a yes. Cleverly, she posed a question to YISUN, prancing with delight. "Then, O flesh of all flesh, may I, who would never ask you anything, ask you this: what is your secret name?" YISUN smiled at this question, for it was a clever one. PREE ASHMA knew that the secret name of God was immensely powerful, and in her breast she had long nurtured to the point of gluttony a growing red hunger for dominion. "Why, it is known by all," spoke YISUN, and as they walked but 2 paces further, they came upon a handsome red buck with 10 antlers, who was the ancient protector of the garden, and had slain 7 million of YISUN's white children. "O handsome son of mine," spoke YISUN gently, "do you know my secret name?" "Of course," spoke the buck, and bowed mightily. "Tell me," implored PREE ASHMA eagerly, but the buck would not. "You know not?" said he, with a tone of surprise. "It is known by all, and it is not in my nature to know how to say otherwise." YISUN smiled in the 3rd way at this response, while PREE ASHMA's heart roiled with discontent. YISUN reached out with a soft gesture and plucked a sparrow from the sky. "Let us ask another," said YISUN. "My small son, do you know my secret name?" The sparrow nodded and bowed his head, but was quiet, for he was old and the winter would come soon. "Tell me," said PREE ASHMA, but the sparrow could not, for he was weary. PREE ASHMA fumed, and in irritation struck at a plum tree, which recoiled in ash. "Let us ask one more," said YISUN. "O mightiest of mighties," said PREE ASHMA, hot with frustration, "if I cannot find out, I will go mad. You, the most generous and merciful, will deny me this small indulgence?" YISUN spoke not, but reached upon the plum, and he held, and PREE ASHMA beheld a small and humble flea there. "Do you also know the secret name of God, you wriggling thing?" screeched PREE ASHMA. The flea bowed and said nothing. PREE ASHMA turned scarlet with frustration. "How the world has conspired against me!" she spat. "O master of masters, you play a trick on me! How could you torment your daughter thus, you maker of false promises?" YISUN was disappointed in PREE ASHMA, for her face was as ugly as those of the white children in her rage. In her tantrums, great gouts of fire consumed one beautiful plum tree after another, and their boughs withered in ash. YISUN was saddened at the nascent ruin of the plum garden, and held up the hand of his son in a small gesture that meant disappointment and cessation. "Will you reveal this to me now, O Queen of Queens?" hissed PREE ASHMA, her beautiful face contorted into furrows of intense longing. "Reveal it to me! I demand you!" The grip of dominion had reddened her flesh. YISUN was saddened, and spoke the 7-syllable secret name of royalty, which is Isatun Varama Presh, and assumed a universal form. The blood drained instantly from PREE ASHMA's face, for she saw her gift was a suffering she was not prepared for. Before she could avert her gaze, the winds of YISUN's body scoured her flesh with deep grooves and lashed at her pretty face, disfiguring her with shrill screams. With mighty hands, YISUN grasped the spokes of the universe, which is the wheel, and wrenched it on its side, with no more force than a feather fall. PREE ASHMA then beheld the universe from its side, and in that moment understood the secret name of God, and laughed at her stupidity. Her eyes flashed like drops of water in a pan, and were gone instantly, for she had willingly hungered after what was hers all along. Her beauty was lost, and her flesh scoured. The blood pooled around her small white feet, and she spoke the secret name of God aloud. I. This excerpt is from Psalms 10:26. And that is the secret name of God, as illuminated to PREE ASHMA. And thank you for listening to that small parable or excerpt or whatever you would call it. But I hope to see you again next time. And once again, my name is William, and I'll catch you around.